get back into the spot where before the camera starts recording here. So, hey, welcome to another episode Behind the Anvil. Tonight, I'm joined in-house Glenn Stoneman, fellow businessman, entrepreneur, uh, major patriot, um, immigrant to the States
Yes.
from Canada,
Yep.
now a citizen for the last 10, how long has it been now?
It's 14 years.
I was gonna say it's, God, we've known you that long?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're hard up for friends if you're friends with me. Tonight we're going to talk about various different subjects. But first I'm going to turn this over to you, Glenn. And kind of introduce yourself. Tell us a little about your small business, Stars and Stripes, everything you kind of do with the community and everything else. So go ahead.
Oh, how much time do you have?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
at least an hour and a half, 15 hour and 20 minutes, you know.
Okay.
Daughter says, "Can we go to ice cream when you're done?" It's like, okay.
So, as Mike says, my name's Glenn Stoneman. Grew up in Canada. Um, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and so we um, do temple work. And our closest temple when I was growing up was in Washington, D.C.
Really?
Yeah.
You
And so,
grew up in the States?
no, I grew up in Canada.
Okay. But the
The closest temple was in Washington, D.C. at the
Really?
time. Yeah. So it was,
That's it. I didn't know that.
yeah. So it was a 14-hour drive, and so we'd take our spring break.
So I'm guessing you're from Ontario?
Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I know my geography,
Yeah.
not geology, geography. Woohoo! Hey.
So we'd go to Washington, D.C. on our spring break, and on the way down, we'd stop and visit the sites, historical sites, and on the way back, we'd do the same thing. And we were with D.C. while we were there. And one of the sites that we always went to see was Gettysburg. And let me tell you, if you've been through Gettysburg and really taken the tour and don't have some sense of patriotism at the end, you're just
I haven't made it there yet, but
Yeah.
it's on the to-do list.
it is an amazing place. And so growing up in Canada, I have a love of U.S. history. And so when I came and moved here to the States, it wasn't a big deal to be a patriot and all that.
Real quick, I mean to cut you off there.
No,
What is it like? Well, actually, go ahead and finish and we'll dive into it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Um,
So I met my wife while I was down here serving a mission, and went home and then came back, got married. I've been here since 1989.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, yeah. So it took me till 2012 to get my citizenship because I was always afraid that, if I applied for it, they would say, no, we don't want you here anymore. Get out.
That's understandable. Well, have you seen our system? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It does, yes, it does need overhaul. I mean, we have the basic blueprints. The Constitution says if we just follow that, simple steps,
Yeah.
it would be so much less. We got such a, we don't normally cover politics, but we're going to kind of jump in a little bit because a little bit about that, but that's kind of your history and everything. So, but I mean, it's a simple blueprint. And then, of course, I guarantee you know the Constitution a lot better than I do. I used to be really sharp on them, but if you don't study it very often,
Yeah.
you kind of lose it a little bit. But, um, so you didn't want, in case they want to kick you out or
Yeah.
anything, but I mean, no offense, Canada's kind of our little special brother
Special brother.
just from the north. No offense.
Yeah, well, when you're the mouse next to the elephant, you learn everything you can about the elephant.
True.
So, as I said, moved here in 1989, got my citizenship in 2012. Part of the reason is I was still politically active, and everybody says, well, you should run for office. You should do this. You should. Well, I can't. I'm not a citizen. I can jaw all I want, but that's as far as it went.
It's kind of funny that we take for granted for people who's born here in the United States, and of course myself, because I've never been outside of the United States yet. I kind of wish I did go on a mission. Kind of may have got sent overseas to have a, kind of more of get the education of what the world is like. Honestly, I think everybody should have to do a tour of some kind of charity work.
Yes.
Get out and learn the rest of the world. I think we'd have a lot better society. And I was like, oh, libertarian. I'm like, yeah, but it would make a better society, I think.
Oh, yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah.
Better people, but anyway,
so finally some people were just pushing and pushing it. And so I said, okay, fine. And I went and got my system. My green card was coming up to be
Can't
expired. So it's either
even-
pay $1,000 for a new green card, pay $1,000 for citizenship. So,
And you've been here, you
and
done.
I've been here long enough. I'm not moving back to Canada. This is home now.
Nice.
So,
So what was it like? I mean, I've never been to Ontario, Canada. Um, like to go up there. I don't know if I want to go up there in the current political conditions right now. But I hear that it's kind of gone downhill again.
yeah.
Hearing and being there. I mean, what is it like growing up in Canada?
Growing up, so keep in mind I'm 60. So when I was growing up, that was in the 70s and 80s.
Okay, what was Canada like in the 70s here?
Seven,
I mean,
70s and
I'm
80s.
assuming they had the wheel, you know, maybe the
Yeah,
combustion
yeah.
engine. Sorry.
We had the wheel and we didn't live in igloos and
Oh, okay,
bobsleds
okay.
and all that. Which was funny because when we went down to DC,
Yeah.
if we had some of our Canadian money is all colored. So you can differentiate between each bill just by color.
Yeah.
And so when we came here and they said, put that monopoly money away, we want some real stuff. And
Now I'm under the understanding that Canada actually devaluates their dollar, lowered us on purpose. Is that any truth to that? Do you know of? Again, I've heard it. I don't know if that's true or not. It again, totally argumentative, I guess.
somewhat just so that um the same way as China does it, so that we would buy more goods because it's
Okay.
cheaper. So
Okay.
it's
All right, that
somewhat,
makes
but not
all
all.
I'm sure there's
Yeah,
a lot of
there's
political.
there's a lot of other stuff that goes on
Okay.
with that. But yeah, so growing up, it was pretty much like any town in the States, same.
That maybe well, I mean, how was the? I know Canada's got weird gun laws now, but how was it back in the 70s?
It wasn't near as bad as what it is now.
So basically, if you wanted to go hunt rabbits, you grab
You
22.
can go and hunt rabbits. Yeah, you can grab a 22 and go hunt rabbits. You can do your normal hunting stuff. That wasn't a big deal. Now it's just
Right.
insane. If you just to go to the gun range, you have to have your gun locked in one cabinet and one container,
Mm-hmm.
ammunition not in another.
Sounds like New York or California.
Yeah, and the magazines.
Maybe we've got a little too many Canadas and then California.
and you have to have your magazines unloaded and it's just
Well, I mean, if you got to have your magazines unloaded, how are you supposed to practice the gun range? But
so you spend half hour
okay.
loading your
You
magazine.
can't show up
You can't
pre-ready
show
to
up.
roll.
Yeah,
That's dumb.
and yeah.
Speaking of Canada, I just had a thought just popped in me. Have you ever watched that show Leonard Kinney? You ever heard of that
No.
show? Yeah, it's funny as hell. It started off on Twitter, I guess, as just a joke, and finally it got really popular on Twitter, and they finally decided to. It's funny as hell. They made all the. It's kind of well, as a friend of mine describes it, his wife said it's just like you lose a few brain cells while watching it, but you pick up a few life lessons along the way. If you get a chance, check it out. It's on Hulu. Shout out to Leonard Kinney. It's quite funny. Real cute humor. I guess kind of trying to think what to compare it to the States. They just come up with stupid scenarios kind of thing. It's hilarious.
You ever watch Red Green?
Yes, loved it. Loved Red Green.
Okay. I know people back home that dress and act like him before Red Green was Red Green.
No kidding.
Yeah,
That's funny.
So
If they don't find you handsome, at least they'll find you handy. I remember, when I'd be at my uncle's, hanging out with my cousin and staying over every Saturday night at 10 o'clock, everybody front room, red green, and then red dwarf afterward.
Yeah.
And then it was bedtime. So,
Yeah.
or, maybe sometimes if there was a rerun, we'd watch Mad TV or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I guess you could kind of say it's similar to Red Green. It's just this dumb, like they were going to go fighting with the local. For one episode, they were going to fight. They were fighting with the local golf course because they're going to oil the Canadian Geese's eggs so they don't hatch because they're pooping all over everything. And oh yeah, they're gonna fight and everything. It's hilarious. If you get a chance to watch that, it's awesome entertainment. Like I said, you lose a few brain cells watching it, but you pick up a few life lessons.
Yeah. So it sounds like they're taking off with some other Canadian shows too, like SCTV, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Sounds familiar.
So
we're doing some shout outs for fun.
Yeah. So they did Strange Brew. If you haven't,
that sounds familiar.
If you haven't seen it and you want to understand Canadians,
watch that.
The slapstick side of humor, watch that one.
All right. That's probably about similar to
they kind of go over the top on stuff.
Well, when they first, like I said, when I was listening to an interview on them with them, they were on Twitter were doing anonymous, kind of making a funny of the stupid stuff going on in their community, and that's what they basically do.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. So if you get a chance, check it out.
Okay, yeah, and that's kind of the same type.
I'll have to check that out. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you came down to Mission Wife and come down here. You are a small business, not only a patient, but you're a small businessman. So
yeah.
What is it? What do you do exactly?
So I make custom nightlights and wax warmers.
Nice.
So
I've got mine around here somewhere. Well, I don't know if it's that box or I think I got it. I don't dare break it out because it's really cool. So I'm scared it's gonna get like the dog or something hits it or it's gonna go, but it's packed away. So I'm gonna. Oh, hey, I disappeared. One time I looked over and it wasn't a floating head. It's like, that would be kind of, maybe I'll just do that one of these days. See if I can get it where it just cuts the head. Right? What else? I mean, you got your business, you do your little light night things, and then you made a logo of the shop, and I'm disappearing again. That's it. Disappear. Get rid of the. Maybe I can disappear. No, it's a good word.
Get rid of the gut. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Squirrel moment. And you also direct and play in the
Field Stars. Yeah.
Why was I call it Stars and Stripes?
Well, I mean,
kind of the same.
There are Stars and Stripes in it.
Yeah, I was thinking of the movie. That's what I
Stars and Stripes.
Right,
yeah.
Yep.
So Field of Stars is it's basically about the beginning of the country, starting with Lexington, Concord, the battles there, and goes through the Declaration of Independence and winning the war at the end. And it's kind of I guess the best way to call it is candy coated history.
Yeah.
So it's
entertaining,
it's entertaining, but it brings out all the points, and that doesn't get talked about a lot in school.
Yeah.
And it's kind of.
Yeah, I have a lot of opinion on government-run schools. It's not public schools; it's government-run.
Yeah.
And I told there were some issues at the high school I was in there. It's like you seem lost. I have no whatsoever belief in any kind of government-run schools. Well, I was kind of sad, and his body language changed real quick. I really don't care. I don't trust government-run schools. Period. Well, I'm a product of government schools, so
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going that, the big thing about government schools is especially since the Department of Education got put in, is that you no longer have 50 different experiments.
Yep.
Teaching school. It's everybody teaches to a test.
Yep.
And that's if you can get all the multiple choice questions correct, then yay.
And I was curious, and I went and asked my grandmother a few years ago. I was like, so when everybody, my mom and everybody else says, did that come out of your taxes? She's like, no, we went and paid a fee when the school time to go to school. They went in, paid the fee, throughout the year. It was a lot cheaper back then, I'm sure. But they paid it directly, and we need to go back to that because it's like your insurance and your taxes coming out on your mortgage.
Right.
It makes you complacent and not worry about it. If people had to go down and
write that
check out,
yep.
They'd be like asking more questions. Of course, everybody played, and humans are. I hate to say it, we're lazy. I get that way myself.
Yeah.
I go down and pay it myself because I have a private mortgage in my house here, and I walk in every time, and I get the eye roll every time I do. I said, "Am I here to pay my extortion payment?" So they don't like that. Would you quit calling it? I was like, "Well, if I don't pay it, you're going to kick me out of my house, and if you And if I resist, you're going to send the sheriff. The sheriff, if I resist the sheriff, they're going to shoot me.
Yeah.
And they're like, who would do that? It's like, you can look up, I hate to say it, you can look that up all over this country, unfortunately. And again, I try not to go too political, but it just kind of popping out tonight
Yeah.
because there's a lot of, because we've had our conversation.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's great conversation. um, so, what else? I mean, what is fishing like in Canada? I
Oh,
mean, kind of like this. I mean,
so
you got different lakes up there.
so where I grew up, they have so many lakes that they can't name them all because if they named them all, then the map would be black.
Yeah, I guess you got a lot of water up there, don't you?
So like where I grew up, I was a minute walk from the river, 5 minute walk from the beach. I mean, in the wintertime, you can go ice skating for hundreds of miles.
I'm
So
not, I don't, I tried ice skating once. I fell on my ass. I thought I broke my hip. I had a bruise clear up the side, bruised ribs for a couple of days. I won't ever do that again.
yeah,
I bet snowmobiling is pretty good.
oh yeah, snowmobiling is so snowmobiling would be like the four-wheel trailers here, where you can go all over the place.
I'll bet.
And so
I bet they got snow this year, didn't they?
they got tons of snow.
Can
They've
you
been
tell them to send it
I
back this
hey
way?
hey I have been trying and they keep hoarding it.
Right. Send it back. But anyway, off the squirrel moment, but kind of walk us through your experience getting your green card a little bit. Kind of let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about that and what it was it felt like to you. Um, I have a friend of her name. Shout out to Emily of Emily Casting Craft. Check her out on Facebook and EmilyCastingCraft.com for if you're a knife maker, want some awesome custom scales. Also, if you're a knife enthusiast, want some custom scales, go check her out. She's actually from Bulgaria.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta check that
yeah.
episode out and listen to that. Very cool. I didn't really understand what Bulgaria. I thought maybe it was part of the SOR. The USSR, SOR,
Yeah.
SOR. Okay, people. Um, I thought it was part of the USSR. She's like, no, but it was heavily influenced when she grew up.
Right.
She's like 5 years older than me and such, and she won a green card lottery they had going on. She had
So she got
that way how she came over.
Yeah.
Awesome story. I mean, I think that's hers is probably one of the top one next to Tim Troyer when he was talking about going to Nepal and buying people. It's freeing slaves only
Yeah.
like 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, you got to check that episode out. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there listening to this. I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah. Well,
But it's a beautiful story and it's working in Uganda and everything. Check that out. That's the first, season one. I think Emily's is 19. And I want to say Tim's is 11. If I got that wrong, sorry, drop me a comment. Or as I did on Tool Time, write to hate mail to the PO box. But kind of walk us through that.
So getting the green card and getting citizenship wasn't super difficult because
Again, you're back in the 80s.
It was back in the I mean, my green card was in '89, so it wasn't, and because my wife was a citizen, so getting that wasn't that extraordinarily difficult. I mean, but you have to at the time. You had to show either someone was going to support you or you had some method of supporting yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. And
sorry, I had to.
Yeah. So I mean that's a concept that's kind of foreign today.
Yeah. And I grew up. I remember listening to stuff like that and hearing that you had to prove in, and I understood at one time Canada kind of had something similar to that. But if you want to be a citizen of Canada, you had to bring $1 million in with you. Or something like that one time.
I know Australia is that way. I don't. Canada it wasn't.
At one time, that's what my dad was telling me years and years ago as a kid. So, one time they had a policy to be the complete citizen. It's kind of you had to have a skill and then also had $1 million to invest into the whatever. But
yeah, so it's basically that you're not going to be a burden on society,
right.
and you know, and so I pride myself on not having any government handouts, and you know, that is, you know, something I take pride in. Um, you know, when I got here, I first started off going to school, and then unfortunately didn't graduate from that
Yeah.
because you know you had to pay the bills, and you know that came
Came
more
and
important,
food
and
diapers
yeah,
and everything.
diapers, yeah.
Everything comes with married life. Oh, look, I was a headless. I was a body there for a minute. Um. So, was there any kind of culture shock? I mean, I know you can.
No,
No, not really.
no.
Okay.
I mean, you know, foods like, you know, funeral potatoes and stuff like that. That's, you know, funeral potatoes.
What's the funeral? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a staple right there.
yeah,
And you know what's funny is growing up, if you feel to, but I didn't realize till later in life that there at least there used to be. I don't know if there is today, but they used to have competitions on different who's had the best funeral
yeah,
potatoes, what different ways they'd make them and everything
yeah,
else. I'm like, oh boy, what about
yeah.
fry sauce though?
Oh no, fry sauce is uniquely Utah.
Yeah. I
You get
found
a,
that out when I was going over the road, and I was
yeah,
at a restaurant one time at stop. There was a truck stop. I was like, "Hey," it's like, "What anything else? You got fry sauce?" The guy looks at me and goes, "What? Fry sauce?" I was like, "What is fry sauce?" I was like, "Get me some mayo, some relish, and some ketchup, please." And I can't remember the name of it. I don't even know if the place is still open. I haven't been over in it was Nebraska somewhere, I
yeah,
think, or Iowa. But I made it at everything. The gal tried it. She's like, "That's pretty cool." Next time I stopped, like 6 months later, they were actually making a limit
oh
and handing
cool,
out. It was all. I wish I could remember where that was. It was on I-80. I know that. So
yeah. So yeah, that is definitely a Utah
yeah, that's
food staple.
Idaho's got it in some places.
Yeah,
Arizona and Nevada has it, but you go anywhere else, I found out real quick. Oh yeah, I'm not in Utah anymore. It's like go anywhere. Hey, got is there anything else? Fry sauce? Huh? Two meals, two ketchup, and some relish. At
yeah,
least that's the way I like mine.
yeah. Well, I guess the big thing is vinegar on your fries,
Ooh,
which isn't done here,
really?
but in Canada it's
Like what? Like a balsamic vinegar or just a vinegar?
just any vinegar, but a balsamic's really good, or red wine.
I think I'm gonna try.
Yeah, so it's basically your salt and vinegar potato chips, but it's on French fries. So it's
I've got to try that. Make a note of that, folks. It does sound good.
so
Sounds a little more
yeah.
healthier than what we got now.
Well, yeah, and if you want to go real unhealthy, so we have this thing called poutine.
Poutine.
Yeah, sounds gross, but what it is, it's French fries with a brown gravy,
Ooh, I'm liking this.
and if you get really fancy, you have bacon bits on it,
Okay, you had me at bacon bits here.
and cheese curds, and chopped onions, and so it goes from just being fries to being a meal in itself. And
It sounds
so
delicious. It sounds like a different way of mashed potatoes and gravy.
yeah, except
It's a French. It's a loaded baked potato, but turned into French fries.
yeah,
Oh,
basically.
that sounds good, actually. All right, another question. We're into food.
Okay,
Canadian bacon. Is
yeah.
that a thing there, or is that just something U.S. that we just
So
call it Canadian bacon? Or
so it's back bacon. So
yeah,
it's bacon from the back,
yeah,
and so we
okay,
call it back bacon.
back bacon.
And but so
And because they call it out there, we just call it Canadian bacon
yeah, yeah,
instead of back bacon. Back
so
bacon sounds cannibalism.
yeah, but it's where the best bacons are.
Back straps, and back
Yeah,
straps are real good. I mean,
yeah,
good venison back strap or elk back strap. Oh,
yeah,
especially fresh off the kill, get that fresh back strap, get it cut down. I mean, that right on the either on a hot rock or a stick or in the grill, fresh, real good.
yeah.
Now I recommend the heart eating the heart immediately. Cook heart afterwards, pretty good. But a good bite out of the heart right after you kill, even better.
I'm not a hunter, so
Oh well, I guess we're gonna take you hunting.
um,
Um,
let's see what other foods do we have there. So I didn't know that there was such a thing as black olives until I came to Utah.
really,
Yeah, I it,
Okay.
Just green olives were all we had.
Yeah. Well,
And so in our family, green olives are a staple
yeah.
at every family gathering.
I like green olives. My dad doesn't.
Yeah, to 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 such a point that I went home for Christmas with my family to visit,
You
and
took a can of black olives.
my sister gave me a gallon jar of green olives for Christmas,
Nice.
and that lasted the week.
Green olives are delicious, especially if
Yeah.
you get like the jalapeno
Oh,
with the
the
garlic in
garlic
it.
in it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
starting
yeah,
drooling here.
yeah.
Um, really? They don't have black. I
Well,
thought that
I mean, they do now.
do now, but back when you were
But
growing up,
when I was a kid growing up, I mean, they probably had them, but we never had them in our family.
huh?
It was all green olives, and that was the thing.
As they say, the more
So
you know.
yeah.
Um, is there anything? Yeah, I'm going to turn this stuff over to you for a little bit. Is there anything you want to chat about? Anything you want to bring up? You know, maybe business wise or knives or anything.
Um.
Again, this is behind the anvil. We kind of just it's off the cuff kind of thing. I was going to make questions up. We were going to actually record last weekend, but I got into some kind of dust and it just went like this. A headache started in the back of my head. I don't know
Was
what I cut, but it just I was sitting behind my head, and I took ibuprofen, I took some Tylenol. Finally, I just give up. It's like, hey, let's reschedule. I can't get this thing to go away. Um, but anything you kind of you want to shout out, you know, kind of
well, if you're in the area this summer, there's the Field of Stars that we're doing.
okay, and that's going to be
That's gonna be over Independence Week.
okay.
So it'd be the
250 years so
Yep.
far. We haven't destroyed ourselves
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. And so we've been celebrating the 250 every year. You know,
Yep.
this year it's going to be a little bit bigger celebration. We're hoping,
Yeah.
and so that
That's 250 years. I mean, it's kind of a quarter of a century, not a
yeah,
millennia, century. Hello, what?
yeah, quarter millennia.
Quarter millennia, not century. Good lord. Um, I guess it kind of is. We're kind of already quarter of a century. Um, but it's kind of weird to think, yeah, 250 years. Um, of being, you know, basically, and when people don't realize it, it started over a paper tax.
Yeah, yeah,
Paper tax. There was a little sugar tax because of rum. Um, I just listed a couple
yeah.
of things, but it was paper tax is 1%. It was like a 3%, all because they wanted to refill their coffers off of over a war between England and France, wasn't it?
Well, that so part of what that was the French and Indian Wars
Okay,
here
French. That's right.
here in the
That's right.
States.
I knew it had to do with
Yeah.
something with the French. The
So
French. Sorry.
yeah, and so it was the British with the colonists
Mm-hmm.
against the French and the Indians, and yeah, it's
I did hit record, right?
what's that?
Okay. I just sitting there like I did hit record, right? ADHD moment. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Um, the French after trying to out the French Indian. That was an interesting. You get a if you're a kid listening, forget. I hate to say this. Forget what they're trying to teach you. What they're teaching you in school is not 100% accurate and not correct. There is some great One thing I like about YouTube, there are some great documentaries out there on YouTube. If you're like me, I'm an audio listener. I like to listen to it. I'll put
yeah,
YouTube on the shop and listen to the stuff while I'm working or on my headphones. I flunked history through school. I did better once I got out. You know, back when the History Channel was History Channel.
yeah, yeah,
Didn't get all the. But well, Forge Fire was one of the better things, but more the this stupid reality TV they've got now.
yeah.
Um,
Well, one of the big things about history is they just teach dates,
yeah,
and dates really don't mean anything.
no.
It's why are those dates important? Why what led up to that? What
Mhm.
you know?
And I just say the whole conflict between us and England, he started way before the. I think in late 1760s, and built up and
yeah. Well, it had been building for a while, um, you know, because the crown had been getting heavier and heavier, and you know, demanding more because we thought we, come over here and be autonomous
Mhm.
and, just kind of have the protection of the crown. And it went from the protection of the crown
Sounds like
to,
Canada.
yeah, it went from the protection of the crown to the
Crown.
servant of the crown.
Yeah.
And that stuck in the craw of a lot of people.
Especially people born here.
Yeah, yeah,
The stolen land, which a lot of people need to go back and realize what a lot of land was bought in the beginning. Yes.
Oh.
Does the United States have some dark history? Yes. Do we have some horrible shit as a country we did? Absolutely, to the natives and to not even the natives, but everybody in this country.
Right.
We had our dark times. I mean, shit, they made slaves of the Irish too when they came here too.
And that's well that so yes and no. So the Irish, when they came over, weren't actually slaves. They were called indentured servants.
What's the difference?
And the difference is they sold themselves for a period of time for their ship's passage over.
Yeah.
Versus I own you for life. And so once you paid your time, then you're no longer an indentured servant and you can go
basically a short-term slavery, basically.
Right.
But
that's the big difference. And everybody talks about in the Constitution, especially, they're talking about slavery only. Well, it's not just slavery, it's indentured servitude as well. And so people that are trying to run away from indentured servitude, that's like
give them that protection.
Give the owners that protection.
Oh, the owners, okay.
So someone trying to run away from their obligations, you can go get them and say, "Hey, no, come back here. You owe me."
Yeah.
And
weird time. I'm glad we don't have that in.
Wow.
As far as we know, we don't have that.
Yeah,
there's some, like I said, we're a pretty decent country, but we have our issues. But what civilization hasn't?
Right. And that's
I disappeared.
And that's the thing, with the Constitution that when I teach a class.
And you still do those classes?
Yeah.
Do you do them online or?
I've got some of them recorded online.
Give that a shout out. It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's on Calvary Silver Valley. The problem is it was just, it's not labeled separately. It's just labeled as part of their meetings.
Okay.
And so I'm
it's in there.
Yeah,
I like, that's a pretty good church. I go to it every now and then.
Yeah, Ryan
is a great guy.
Yeah.
I had him on here.
Yeah, he told me about that. Yeah.
But hey, see, then he did a sermon afterwards, and I was like, well, I think I inspired that sermon the following Sunday. It's like, hey, I mean, it was a great sermon, and he's like, I might make people mad. It's like, no, I totally like what he did. I really did. It's like made me do some thinking too, but
well, Ryan has a way of calling you out.
I love it,
and it's he has made me a better man for sure.
I think we all could be a dose of that, honestly. I really enjoyed it. I mean, we might not see eye to eye on a few things. One of the subjects we talked about was DTM, and mainly for usage in extreme PTSD, or even for a lot of the veterans and the ayahuasca, not ayahuasca, ibogaine. I don't know if you've listened.
No.
They found some, and you have to go out of the country to do it, unfortunately, because our government's too damn stupid. But listen to Joe Rogan and also Sean Ryan over the last couple of years, and they've talked about one. I'll find it and send it to you. It's really good listen. They had Rick Perry and another gentleman, and why I can't remember the second gentleman. They got talking about the ibogaine initiative. Ibogaine is non-addictive. It does have some cardiac issues. If you use it, it can stop your heart.
Right.
But I've listened to veterans who's gone over to Mexico and gone through this treatment. They're no longer alcoholics. They no longer on the medications a lot. A lot of them said they don't have even touch sugar anymore. It literally kind of helped rewire them. They've got several different. They got the ibogaine. They do the DTM, and they got another one. They call it the ego death, made from the frog.
Yeah.
I guess you small goat or lick a toad or something. He goes, Sean Ryan was talking about his experience and such, and he says he experienced his whole life within 30 seconds. And it's just, yeah, basically, they call it ego death because it kills your ego, makes you step out and see things and listen to experience. Like, no, thank you on that part. I don't think. I think, and he's got his opinions on it. DTM is something you don't want to. I've talked to people who've done it recreational. I don't agree with that for any medical purposes. Only for extreme depression. Like I said, PTSD. I grew up. My dad was a Vietnam veteran. I grew up around it. I didn't understand it until later in life. Um, if it's helping people, we should have it over here in a controlled percent.
Right.
We did one of the things that I know you can do here legally is ketamine. I thought about it because I've got some issues myself, um, and I think in the right setting, these are good things in the right setting. If you use it for other reasons, you can open yourself up to some bad juju out there. And I've seen it, and I've had my experiences with bad juju stuff. Not because I was
Right.
used it or anything. It's just I think what was I doing? I was starting to attend church again. Oh, I think I was going for my patriotic blessing. I think at the time, and I had an experience with a dark demonic presence. And I'll tell you, I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
That was interesting. But in that right setting for medicine, I believe everything that's on this earth is put here for a reason.
Absolutely.
Um, we're just dumb idiot apes who abuse stuff from water to
Right.
the most actually, the most abusive substance in this world is the number one abuse substance,
Probably sugar.
aspirin.
Yeah.
And sugar. I have sugar now. I guess we would say yeah, but I think all things in moderation. But we'll bring that back around. But yeah, that was a great episode. You'll have to check that one out too. But I like how he come up with his sermon the next day. I'm like, did I inspire this or I thought it was great. He's I'm going to make people mad. It's like, no, dude, make people mad. Get them kind of comfortable. We'll probably not agree on certain things, but that's okay. I mean, who the hell can you really agree with on everything? You can't.
No, you're not going to agree with everybody on everything.
Well, there's one thing we can. Jesus is Lord, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, and yeah, Ryan's 100% on that too.
Yeah. So
yeah.
For a moment, we'll bring it back around. What were we talking about before I went to divert?
Constitution
on the Calvary.
Calvary River Valley.
I'm just gonna disappear. Oh, there we go. That's cool. Boom, boom, in and out. This goes on YouTube and also on all podcast platforms as well.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
Calvary, you done your Constitution class. You gotta start your own channel too.
I gotta find time.
No,
you
like me, you gotta.
I have my hands in so many different I have way too many irons
in the fire.
Yeah.
Hey, but on
they're
forging kind of
yeah.
I say
so this is from now to July. What's going on? So I'm narrating and singing in Lamb of God.
Nice.
So that is if you haven't seen this, wherever you are, go find someone that's doing Lamb of God by Rob Gardner.
Where's that available around here?
Here it's going to be at the River Valley Center, and it's a Friday, Saturday in March, or sorry, Saturday, Sunday in March.
Do they happen to live feed that anywhere?
I don't think so.
That'd be
unfortunately,
awesome,
yeah. But it is a life-changing.
Hey, I got a channel. Maybe I'll have to get a good camera and come set it up. That'd be fun.
So So the first year that we are going to do it here in the county was 2020, and of course, you know what happened.
The China virus.
Yeah, two weeks before we were going to perform it, everything got down.
Yeah,
and so
that was kind of convenient, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
I got one. All the truth came out. All the conspiracies.
All the conspiracy facts.
Conspiracy fact came out. For the last 20 years, I grew up listening to conspiracy and everything else. In the last 10 years, a lot of shit's come true. I think some of those conspiracies come so much that everybody's now inventing stuff because they're
Yeah.
so conspiracy addicted. I get it. I like a good conspiracy. If you got one we can talk about later on, we'll roll into that. I got some questions about Canada later on.
Yeah.
Anyway, share more on.
So 2020, we're gonna do it, and so I work in for an excavation company, and normally, if I'm driving truck or whatever, have one earbud in.
And
So if I need to talk on the phone, I can talk on the phone, but normally I'm just listening to the radio.
yeah,
And so I was in a little skid steer under the highway, and so it's concrete, which is basically and the rebar, which is basically a Faraday cage. So
pretty
I
much.
couldn't
Yeah,
couldn't listen to anything.
anything.
So I had the original Rob Gardner. They did it in London, I think, and
Rob Gardner. I'm trying to think who that is. The name sounds familiar, just not place to face. I'll look it up later.
yeah. Anyways, so I'm in this culvert under the freeway in this little skid steer, listening to this music and crying like a baby. It's just, you know, it is a powerful, emotional,
I'll have to come check it out.
And
hey, if you guys want to record it, I'll come over and record it. And I'll throw it on my YouTube channel. Sounds like it needs to be shared.
well, I mean, there are several
Productions.
productions of it,
Yeah.
and I think.
But if you're like a person like me that doesn't people very well,
yeah,
unless it's a knife show, they're like people. How do you mean you do knife show? Hey, when I'm behind the booth, it's totally a different deal.
well, not only that, but you're with your people.
Yes, the family. I mean, they might be, we might be competitive, but the knife community is something else.
Yeah.
If you haven't been, it's like, your event, Squirrel Mullet. I took Sam down a few years ago. Took him to Texas Select with me. I said, thank you for coming in, helping out with the shop and getting ready and helping with classes. And was heading back. I says, well, what did you think of the show? I says, that was interesting. We do the show thing. We have our hangout afterwards. He says it was, Night Show was great, but it felt like more like a family reunion than people competing against each other, people sharing their stuff, talking about their different knives. Hey, what do you think of this? Can critique this? Different levels. I mean, from guys below me, I'm right here, and then there's guys like up here on it, and the guys up here are the most humble people you've ever meet. JD Randall, one of them, great guy, soft-spoken Louisiana feller, just amazing knives.
Yeah,
and it's funny to go down to Texas Select and Jeff Wagner. I need to get him on. He's another awesome maker, just phenomenal work himself. Humble guy. He's humble to a point. I like to give him a lot of crap. Daisy was just ribbing him like no other down there and such.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell a knife before you. And he says, "Well, good. I hope so." And he's just funny as hell. One year he won an award, and he gets up to accept awards. I like to thank J.D. Reynolds for not entering a sword this year. JD usually sweeps stuff. I mean, that's how good of stuff he. I mean, the guy is a phenomenal bladesmith, from art to functional. Even the art knives are completely functional as well. But let's circle back to you.
So that's from now to March, and then I'm directing Field of Stars this year.
Yeah, and that starts in May.
So,
Of course,
so that
you
starts.
can't show up at the Small Business Fest.
Yeah, well, and because I wasn't busy enough, we're doing Frozen this year, Disney Frozen, the play in July.
So are you playing? What's her name?
No.
Oh.
no. I am the set builder.
Okay.
For that, so I
And that's gonna be
at the SBC.
SBC.
The end of July.
Nice.
And so
maybe we'll finally get snow in July,
well,
which has happened here before.
You will inside.
Hey.
So yeah, so we're planning on doing stuff at the SVC that's never been done at the SVC before.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell you. You're gonna have to come.
Yeah, let's go find out, folks.
Come find out. But
hey, I'll hit pause and then you can tell me later.
But yeah, there's some things that we're planning on doing that's never been done there before.
So you're saying bring a jacket?
No, it's not going to be cold, but
Darn.
Yeah, it'd be nice from stage crew side if it was
I'll
cold
bet it was.
because
Bet it would be.
we
So you got a lot of irons fire. So you're doing
Lamb of God,
Lamb of God,
Field of Stars.
Field of Stars, and that you guys start practicing that in May.
Yeah,
Um,
and
and then
I'm
Frozen,
Frozen.
and then
As soon as Frozen's done, then I'm getting ready for the Sigurd Corn Maze.
yeah, second corn base. Shout out those guys.
Yeah,
It's
and
always a blast or
yeah.
a scream.
Lots of screams.
Lots of screams.
Yes, few pass outs.
That's funny.
Yeah. But we,
You know, I had a show up there at the bar. Oh, I don't have it in here. It's not in the shop. I should show up in the bar. You know, all dressed up. That's
oh yeah,
I come in and have something set up. I just come in and chop something, lights up. There we go.
yeah,
I'll talk to him. Corn Maze, that's always fun there in Sigurd, Utah.
yeah.
Put on by the what's his last name?
Travis Harvey.
Travis Harvey. I know it started with an H. I just
Yeah.
spent I am bad.
Yeah,
Sorry, Travis, I forgot your last name, bud.
yeah. So
Good people.
they've been doing that. I don't know. I've been there since
They've been doing it for
14, 15, something
20
like
years
that.
or something,
Yeah.
it seems like.
Yeah, and they were doing it a while before I got there.
So,
But,
yeah, it's been far back as I can remember.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, we have a blast there, and then as soon as that,
do you have any time to sleep?
not really.
No,
I mean, I do sleep sometimes.
sometimes.
But
Yeah, say sounds like me sometimes when I get ready for a show and it's you know I get of course I like to take a variety of knives and first time I went to Texas Select I didn't know what to expect so I planned on 30 and well all right well I got more time to do 40 I think between what I had done and what I brought dad's along I had like 50 knives that
Yeah.
first year and the table was just packed plus type spares and such so I did really good but um buddy Sean he says sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
He only does maybe half a dozen or so, and he's a phenomenal maker too. There's a show coming up in February or this month. Yeah, I guess it is this month, February 20. If you're in Oklahoma City, check out the Oklahoma Knife Group's show in Oklahoma City. I think it's at the fairgrounds. Yeah, just Google Oklahoma Knife Group. They'll tell you all about it. Sorry, Sean, if I murdered does. Actually, I think this episode will come out right before that show,
Yeah.
February 20th, I think. Wish I had the cash to go out there. It's a fun time. A good show. They built it up, and it's gotten bigger and bigger every year. So, sounds like you got a lot of things going on, and you still. And where do you find the time to do your small business? That you make your things, or is this just the breather to go in and relax and from everything else?
the small business is kind of the relaxed part.
Okay.
Except you don't really relax because you're under the gun. You're so I've got a show this weekend up in Kearns, and so I'll be going up there for that.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, you get to meet people, and the neat thing about the night lights and wax warmers is the custom ones that I do, because a lot of times what it's being customized for is someone who's passed away, a pet that's gone, and so greatest compliments I ever get is people tell me they cried when they opened it.
That's awesome.
And it's like, who wants to give a gift to make people cry, right? And
But yeah, I mean that's a good way to memorial somebody.
Oh yeah.
In the family, or a pet. I like, but I guess I'm just weird. Yeah, I've had some good dogs in the past. Like, yeah, I miss them and everything else. I have a few pictures, but other than that, I'm still a little weirded out that people. Again, it's just me. If you do this, you cremate to bring the dog home and everything. Like, to me, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's just. Well, I grew up. Dog died. We dig a hole, wrap him up in a blanket, and put a few whatever favorite toys and everything else, and then put a marker and bury him. I just but I got a friend that she's done it a few times on her two pets. Hey,
yeah. Well, my daughter is, I still got to make the urn for her, but she did that with her dog.
Yeah.
That was.
I've actually got to make an urn once for Dan DeMille's dad. They asked me. Yeah, that was fun. We did that, and I got this. I should have had. I didn't think when I ordered it for him. I didn't realize Columbus Day was that following Monday, so we didn't get the steel till the day before.
Ooh,
And
short.
I started at 8 o'clock Friday morning. The memorial service was set the following day, and Dan came over and his brother came over and helped through. They kind of rotated out through, and getting organized for everything. We took the steel. I just wish we had more time to etch it, but we finally finished it. My end of things, and I had the lid actually finished the week before because I had figured out what to do and everything on
Yeah.
it. And other than cutting the spots for the hook it all together, is we octagoned it like a barrel.
Yeah.
And some really nice. I got Damascus from Alabama, Damascus. Shout out to them. Great Damascus. I just didn't have time to make that steel.
Right. Yeah.
I was afraid I wouldn't have enough time or how to make it exactly because they make some really good sheets and such. Turned out great. Finished it up like 2 o'clock that Saturday morning. That was a long day.
Well, that was so. My brother-in-law was actually the one that got me into doing the litho things. So he had a machine that would carve into the flat surface,
Oh, nice.
and so we did that on. I'm trying to remember what the material was. Anyways, it left all kinds of burrs, and so same thing. It was for my sister-in-law's dad who had passed, and it was for her mom for the viewing and everything. So I was there with super magnifying glasses
Just cleaning
and,
every
and
little
cleaning
bird.
all the birds
Oh,
off.
been there, done that,
And-
getting into the fine stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like, and you got, you know, minutes, not hours left, kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah, it was so it got finished carving about 8 o'clock, and I think like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Morning finally got it.
We finally got it to where we can put it in, but it was a way cool because it lit up the urn and had the
Nice.
picture in it, and so yeah.
That's kind of
So-
cool.
So I did get a new toy. I
new toy.
haven't got a chance to play with it yet. So it's fractal burning,
A what?
a fractal burner. So what it is, I don't know if you've seen it. It looks like lightning and wood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
Put it on
Yeah.
there and then it just kind of falls wherever.
Yeah.
Okay.
so I'm gonna start playing with that, and I've got a laser engraver, and so
Nice.
we're gonna start playing with stuff with that.
Got a 3D printer yet?
Yeah, well, that's how I do that. Then the night lights, I've got 4 of them actually.
Oh, okay. So then go back to print them out. That's cool. You know what that 3D printer reminds me of?
But
The replicator off of Star Trek.
yeah,
So yeah, we went there. Star
Well,
Trek.
yeah. So my printers, as far as technology, are ancient now.
Yeah.
They're
I
like
think don't you buy one so you get out of the box
Yeah.
and like computers there.
right. It's like 4 or 5 generations back, but they do what I need them to do. So there's
Speaking of that, Spicy Mike, Michael Kernley, shout out to Spicy Mike. We had him on earlier episode. He's been making fish lures. He just got a new 3D printer, and he made printed one fish lure out of carbon fiber.
yeah.
That was cool looking.
So yeah, I mean the technology on 3D printers now is
I mean, soon you'll be able to just be, hey, hot chocolate, Earl Grey, hot.
yeah. I mean that is the goal, but
I honestly, a lot of the technology, like the tablets and everything else,
Yeah.
and kids growing up in the 80s watching through that and everything, I think it's literally nerds think that's cool. Got into this stuff. Hey, we
And
can
we
build
make
this
the-
now. I think
yeah.
that, honestly, I think a lot of our technology is inspired by Star Trek.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at once they got away from the brick cell phones. What were they? A flip phone for your communicator.
Yep. Hey, the Nokia back in the day with the low antenna.
Yeah.
That was a tough subject. You could run that over, run it through the wash, and still make your call.
Yeah.
Nowadays, not so much.
Right.
So, like I said, I don't really dive into politics, but you're from Canada and everything, and you understand this a lot better than I. Right now, I've been reading a lot, and I've joined couple of groups, kind of pretty much by accident. I just made a comment, and I now I get a notification you're added to this group.
Yeah.
Alberta is voting to become independent.
Right.
Um, what's your thoughts on that? What do you know? I'm sure you got friends up there. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I've got a lot of family in Alberta.
What?
And
Tell
so,
me. Like I said, I've heard a lot of stuff on the radio. Again, hearsay. I take everything with a grain of salt.
right.
Read everything on Facebook or this group or that group, grain of salt. What's your thoughts on it? What are you hearing?
So here's the big reason why Alberta wants to break away. It's all about the money. Okay.
Sounds familiar.
Right. So in Canada, because their representation is a whole lot weirder than what we have here.
From what I've been listening,
So,
but they got free health care.
no, you can have all the free health care you want, but if you don't have access to it,
Yep.
it doesn't matter.
Well, the only reason why they can afford to do that, their social programs, is because they don't have a military budget like we do.
Well, that's part of it, but the free health care, I lost a sister because of free health care.
So yeah, so people who want free health care, stuff it.
Yeah, there's
my condolences, by the way.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, that. So what happened is she had like blinding headaches, and so they, here, take some drugs, take some drugs. Instead of looking to see why she has the blinding headaches, yeah.
So it kind of like sounds like our healthcare system is now controlled by the pharmaceuticals. And
yeah.
Take this.
And so without looking into the reasons why, and because the free healthcare diagnostics are so far out, and scheduling, and she had been waiting for 5 months for a scan, CT scan, that would have.
And I understand for CTs and MRIs, you only got like 5 of them in Canada.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what I've heard.
They're getting more of them, but because it, and the system's kind of funny because you have, like when I was growing up, the local hospitals were always doing fundraisers to get equipment. I'm going, isn't the government supposed to pay for this? But
yeah,
and so anyways,
I didn't. I've never heard that before. That's interesting. Yeah. So they literally would have to do fundraisers
to get equipment. Yeah,
that the government's supposed to fund all this.
Yeah. And yeah,
wow,
there's a lot of issues. Anyways, so like 3 days before she was supposed to have her scan, which would have picked up the problem.
Yeah, an aneurysm.
Yeah, she had a stroke, brain aneurysm, and she didn't die right away, but it was, she was never the same after that, and she had trouble putting associations together, and when I went in to visit her, because we were able to visit before she passed, it's like, she called me a friend, and because that's the only, I mean, she lit up when she saw me. She knew who I was, but we couldn't associate brother with friend. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was kind of a sad thing, but a simple scan that we can get here in the States fairly easily.
I mean, now we have some areas, you have imaging centers, what they call them.
Yeah.
I found out that I was talking to a couple of doctors around here, like, how could they be sitting around here? It's like, well, you kind of have to have the permission of the hospital. It's like, wait, what? You gotta have permission to set well, yeah, they own the kind of the, like, how the hell can they own I mean, what, bring free markets?
Yeah, that's kind of a, the healthcare system in general is messed up, and
the bureaucracy.
And how the bureaucracy actually came about because of the government in the 40s. So in the late 30s and early 40s. So Roosevelt in the US.
Okay.
In the US. So Roosevelt, they put a cap on what you could pay for salary. And so in order to attract quality people, if you're going to get the same pay no matter where you go, then doesn't matter where you go.
Go.
So in order
The track
to
that
attract the high quality people,
people start
then you
out.
give benefits, because benefits weren't counted towards salary. And so part of the benefits was, we're going to pay for all your health costs.
Yeah.
And so that became, morphed into
What it
is today.
Today. Yeah.
And everybody talks about the benefits of free healthcare, and I'm going, well, go to England, see what the benefits of free
And I
healthcare
think
is. Go to Canada.
the cancer survival rate over in England is horrible compared to what it is
Yeah.
here. Most common folk in England, again, this is just what I've heard, end up dying before they have any kind of treatment or cancer, unless you're, the royal family and have to be cured in 9 months.
Yeah.
One thing is, everybody's like, oh, it's a human right. It's a human right. Well, if healthcare is a human right, then you must believe in slavery.
Absolutely.
Because if you believe in healthcare as a human right, again, you must believe in slavery, because then you feel that you're entitled to somebody else's labor.
Yep.
Because healthcare has to be done by people. People
Yep.
go to schooling for this, and we expect good schooling. So you want to enslave them for your benefit.
Yep.
Didn't we have a war to end that?
Well, that's a whole other story.
That's a different story.
Well, that's a whole other story, but that's not the reason why we went to war.
Well, no, it was over taxes and representation. Yes. When it first started.
Yeah.
The slavery the abolition was going on at the same time. It just kind of got all blended towards the end, but it still was over taxation and representation. Yeah. The South was paying the taxes, not the representation more about it.
That was a big part of it, and tariffs and that. Bringing that up about slavery, the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody talks about Lincoln freeing the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he only freed some of the slaves.
Yep.
And got really specific about who was freed and who wasn't.
That I didn't know.
If you read it, it's only in Confederate states, and only in areas that are controlled by Confederates.
Really?
Because there were 4 slave states in the Union.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Was in the Union.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that. See,
so
school history does not teach this.
So no, they. I don't know if you know Charlie Scott. Big black guy, played football for.
Oh yeah, yes.
So we were at a yard sale together one day and got talking, and politics came up, and I guess so. I asked him who his favorite president was, because I knew what the answer was going to be, Abraham Lincoln. I go, well, why? And he says, well, you freed all the slaves. And I go, when did you do that?
Mm-hmm. And even in his own Lincoln's own journal, he didn't really want to do it. He just felt, and this came from a PBS. Yeah. I was watching. I was over the road, and PBS was the only channel I picked up. It was on Lincoln. In his own journal, he wrote that he didn't really want to free him. He just figured it would be better just to let it age out with time, which was kind of working that way, if that makes sense. At least that's why I remember watching that episode.
It really wasn't working that way. But I mean, that was the whole reason why the Republican Party was started. Yeah, was to get rid of the 2 evils in society. One was slavery, the other was polygamy. And if you really want to, there's a whole other history lesson that goes in with that.
Oh, yeah.
But people look at history and they see documents, and they only go by what they're told.
Mm-hmm. They don't actually read.
Yeah, but if you actually read the document, and especially the Emancipation Proclamation, in Louisiana, it actually goes to specific parishes where they're freed or not.
And that was more, I would say, probably more with, if looking at history and warfare, I would think that would be more of a military tactic to destroy the economics of the South, kind of torture kind of thing.
Yeah,
at least that's the way I was interpreting some of the stuff.
Yeah, and slavery was a
horrible thing.
It was a horrible thing, absolutely. But something that should have been solved in the early 1800s.
Well, it was that, and I watched the documentary, I read somewhere, listened to something. Didn't Thomas Jefferson try to outlay it in the first draft of the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah. So
But they had to remove it because the Southern colonies would not ratify it because that was in there.
Yeah.
And without the Southern colonies, there was no way we could have made war with England.
well, it had to be a unanimous decision, and so it was unanimous Declaration of Independence. So originally, his original draft had life, liberty, and property, and because he was afraid that
people consider
slaves property, that they would take that as, oh, we're fighting to keep our slaves.
Okay.
And so it went from life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And
that I didn't know.
Yeah, because so that's the original was life, liberty, and property. And because at that point the king could take your property anytime you wanted, and the military was doing all kinds of nasty things, and so there was a lot.
I gotta get my butt pad better.
There's a lot of issues with that, but the slavery issue should have been solved in let's see, 1787, so 1807.
Yeah.
When it should have been
really taken care of, but again,
actually 1809, because it wasn't ratified until 1789. But
well, humans are nasty, disgusting, vile creatures. That way.
Well,
I had to say it.
And government just doesn't like doing things until they're forced into it.
Right.
And it didn't get forced into it until 1861, and then there wasn't any choice. But I mean, Lincoln's whole thing about the war wasn't about slavery; it was keeping the states together.
Yeah, he didn't want to divide the country under his leadership. So,
and I think things would have been different if we had, I believe it's the 20th Amendment in play at the time. So you got elected in November, you get sworn in March.
Yeah.
So between November and March, there was a whole bunch of crap that went on, that if he had been president
before,
that if he had been president, I don't think would have happened. He would have put a kibosh on it. And
that's interesting. I'll have to go. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, we're learning some history, folks.
So that's
But anyway, let's circle back.
Okay. Circle back to Canada.
We went in a score, like I said, this is off the cuff. I like this way. I like it.
So
ADHD talk.
Yeah.
But anyway, Canada.
Well, and I'm just I'm just as ADHD as you, so that's easy.
So they're basically they got probably little to no representation.
Yeah.
They're funding Toronto. Where's the capital? Ottawa. Yeah, close enough. It's up there. It's Canada. Sorry. If your family's listening to this, I apologize, guys. It's all good fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're our little brother that we kind of keep in the closet in the north.
Yeah. So it's so that and they're killing Alberta's economy with shutting down pipelines and so.
And Alberta has tons of the oil sands.
Yeah, the
coal,
tar sands, coal,
diamond mines.
Yeah, so all the energy that you need can be got in Alberta, but in order to get it out,
you got to mine it. You got to drill.
Well, you got to mine, you got to drill, and they do the open pit mining and all that, but you have to transport it some way. And the
pipelines people don't understand pipelines are pretty safe. I mean, there's leaks here and there, stuff happens. Train derailments are
more common,
and we've seen that in the last 5 years, especially under that one handicapped fella we had in the White House there for a while. I don't like to mention anything. He shall not be spoken of.
Yes.
Brandon. But travel drum bands, I mean, you get mess everywhere that blows up, and you get spills everywhere. Pipelines, really, if they're done correctly, they go on the ground. I mean, have you seen pipelines go in?
They're
I know guys who've welded on pipelines.
yeah.
And listening to the stories and how they do stuff is like, wow, watching documentary, good.
Well, they're inspected a lot more than
And they've actually got machines now that clean them and also go through
Yeah,
and inspect them from the internal.
yeah,
Now with new technology and stuff, so they're buried.
yeah. So
It's a lack of education.
Yeah.
We have these things that's got everything in the world. Oh wow, we've got an hour. Cool. We got another half hour, so.
Okay.
But we got a lot of good information here, and people just want to scroll through. I saw this on TikTok.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, that's yeah. We say the world is full of problems because there's a lack of education or lack of information, and you have all the info. If you look at everything that your cell phone could do now, and try to do that same thing in the 80s.
No.
I mean, you can't carry a library with you.
No.
You can't carry your music library with you.
The teacher said I wouldn't have a calculator in my back pocket growing up through the 90s.
Yeah.
My teachers lied to me.
Yes. Yeah. And so, anyways, they don't have representation. It's kind of like the beginning of the revolution here, because taxation without representation. It's kind of the
same thing, Civil War.
Yeah. So separation of provinces in Canada is not something new. Quebec went through it. It was a big thing. I mean, there were political parties, and it finally came to a vote and was narrowly defeated. And they were just going to be their own country. They weren't going to be affiliated with anybody else. Just Quebec is it is a unique province. So everything, the signs there, I mean, all through Canada, signs are bilingual. English on top, French underneath.
We
in Quebec, they're all in French.
Guess I won't be going to Quebec anytime soon.
So we drive home to visit my folks, and on our way back, we will take a side detour and see things. Well, we were taking a side detour to go through Boston and visit, do the Freedom Trail and that. And in order to get there, we had to drive through Quebec. So I've got my GPS. I'm going, okay, I can do it. I can do it. The problem is the GPS is trying to read French signs and pronounce them as English. And
that's funny.
It was.
But that was hilarious.
Well, yeah, except for there it goes.
Whoops!
So
turn back around.
Recalculating. So that was and we were doing it at night. So so your distance vision is not super great. And it was. I was so glad to get back in the States.
I bet. So let's say Alberta does gain their independence. It sounds like Saskatchewan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. I apologize. We actually have a few downloads in Canada.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Hopefully your family will listen to this too and spread that out.
Yeah.
Been nine downloads in Singapore.
Really?
Right? I got the analytics shows you where it's downloaded there a few times in Australia, a few in Brazil. It's like, that's cool. So I hope I haven't drove them nuts. So, but let's say they actually are able, and on wherever the hell the capital is up there, Ontario, or where's it at?
It's in Ontario, Ottawa. Yeah.
Okay. Ottawa, Ontario, it's all the same thing, I guess. Shows you how much I know of Canada.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd. I didn't know Captain Kirk was from Canada.
Yeah. He was from Quebec.
Yeah. There's a lot of actors that growing up, I had no idea they were originally from Canada.
Martin Short.
Yeah. Martin Short had no clue.
Justin Bieber, they don't claim him anymore.
Who?
Justin Bieber.
Who? Is that? I mean, we have beavers here, and a little furry thing with big pouch.
Bieber.
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
That That's okay.
Yeah.
Ask Daisy, she'll tell you.
Yeah. Actually, she probably doesn't even know who that is. But she don't even listen to Taylor Swift. She's like, Dad, I don't
Oh,
think so.
good.
So,
Good for
so
her.
I've done well so
Yes.
far. She is that has a little boyfriend. Where did I go wrong?
Well, it had to
I have
happen.
a Bardiche.
It had to happen sometime.
Yeah, I met him at the door of the Bardiche. What do you want? It was awesome.
Yeah.
But if they are able to, I mean, they're gonna have to form their own. I mean, I'm sure they've got their kind of guard. They have like a guard or what is
So it's all the military isn't state specific or province specific,
specific
and so there are military bases there.
there? So they
And
probably just like, assume those. I'm guessing. Control.
I would imagine.
Hey, it's not. Just come over. Be the 51st state, guys. I mean, you'll get less taxes, I'm sure. Well, I mean, our taxes still, but considering what is it like 60 or 70% up there or something taxes rate?
Yeah. So the big thing there is they want the separation, but not necessarily join the states.
I get that.
And
I think over time it probably would happen.
It probably will, and so if you're looking at politics, if you go north south, whatever the politics are in the states,
it's all red.
It goes straight above. So eastern United States, eastern Canada, same politics. Central, same politics.
One thing I do fear is, China.
Yeah.
China is an imperialist. China consumes for themselves. They don't care.
Right.
At least from you look at history and everything else and the way they make their moves, it kind of reminds you of Japan back in the day. That's how they look at things. They steal technology. We see that. I mean, you can buy motors that are dead ringer to Honda motors. The parts interchangeable.
Yeah.
They steal technology. I don't know why. I don't. Utah supposedly passed a law saying that anything owned by any kind of corporation, shell corporation, whatever, by China, land or anything here in Utah, they're supposed to sell it or if it's forfeit, which is a good thing because they all got them all near our military.
Yep.
Around Dugway. Not a good thing. Excuse me. Dinner's come back up. My biggest fear is, if they'd be able to do that, China, their big thing is like they so far, Greenland's told China to go stuff it. They were in there. Hey, we'll build your roads. We'll build you but they don't do it for free.
No,
they just want to come in. They want to manipulate your system, and they're going to extract everything, and you're going to be left out with nothing.
Yeah.
I don't really care for the idea of the Chinese next door. It sounds like there's a lot of influence in Canada, especially British Columbia. Again, this is stuff I've heard. I don't know how true it is. Take everything with a grain of salt, even if I say it. Unless it's the Constitution or the Bible, then I mean.
So the big thing about China, as far as relations with Canada, is it's all about money.
Yeah.
For the Canadian side as well, and that's not to bring politics up, but that's why Trump was saying, hey, if you make this deal with China, your tariffs just.
Yep.
And because
we got to protect ourselves. We have a right as a nation to protect ourselves.
All that was going to happen was China was going to dump the goods in Canada, and Canada was going to dump them in the States.
Yep.
And that.
And then they're going to suck all their resources and send it back to China.
Yeah. So China basically is like
Pac-Man.
Well, yeah. But from Independence Day, where they come in, just take everything, destroy everything,
suck it out, send it back home.
Yeah,
leave you with nothing.
Right.
And they've already seen that in Africa, in some countries in Africa, where they went in, depleted natural resources, and left a mess.
Yeah.
Well, they built roads. Well, who's going to maintain those roads?
Right.
How are they going to maintain those roads without resources to mine, to sell, to provide?
Nothing is free.
No. Not even life. I mean, in the Bible it says that you will earn your daily bread by the sweat of your brow.
Right.
And so you got to work.
Yeah. Yeah, so nothing in this life is free. Anybody who says so doesn't know what they're talking about because, and especially if it comes from the government,
That ain't no kidding.
because one of two things is how government gives it to you.
They
One,
take it
they
from somebody
take it
else.
from someone else, or they borrow the money from it. And if they're borrowing the money from it, that means they're really taking it from you because
Ain't it supposed to be
it raises inflation.
Yep.
Anytime you print money,
Thing. The value
the value goes down. That's why you're seeing gold right now.
Yep.
Gold is
hit like 5,200, then it's
Yeah.
down to dropped down to like 4,900.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever see that in my life. It's like wow. I'm sure
Well,
that the gold miners up in Yukon are loving it.
yeah. So part of the reason why gold went so high is because the American dollar has been devalued, and so people look at gold as an investment, and
Mhm.
rightfully so. It's an awesome
Well, it's
investment.
even in the Bible too, ain't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Remember?
But if you look at gold holding its value, so in 1913, the year of the Federal Reserve Act, I mean 1913 was a horrible year for the United States.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder why nobody likes the number 13.
yeah, yeah. So in 1913, for a $20 gold piece,
Mm-hmm.
which is 1 ounce of gold,
Yeah.
you could buy a nice suit, shirt, tie, socks, shoes, underwear.
Wow.
So what could you buy for $20 today?
Definitely, maybe not quite a Happy Meal.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
you might get the socks
yeah, socks,
or the underwear.
Yep.
Okay. Now, for that same $20 gold piece at $4,900.
Yeah. I mean, and then add
Yeah.
in the collector value of like a $20 gold piece. I can't. I looked it up, and you think
Yeah.
I can remember right now?
Well, even
The
outside of just the monetary value today of an ounce of gold.
Yeah. So I was like,
And the only thing that's changed is the accounting system for what it's worth.
well, I seen a picture. Somebody had a stack of coins in 2000. It took 21.5 coins of gold, ounces, to equal $10,000.
Yeah.
Now it's just 2 coins.
Right.
2 ounces.
Yeah.
Equals 10,000. Like wow. So, very interesting. But so, the question is, can Alberta govern themselves if they're able to establish?
Yeah. Yeah, they very capable of doing that.
I think the trade. I think the trade between the states will be a lot easier too. I think.
Yeah, because I mean,
tariffs would probably go almost away. I bet.
because
they keep churning out.
So if you wanna drop the price of oil and your gasoline, become a partner with Alberta, and
in the tar sands, I understand it takes they burn like 1 barrel of oil to make 3. If they just build a reactor system, a nuclear reactor with what they got the technologies now, and basically they've got reactors about the size of this room now.
Oh yeah.
They're setting one up over in Emer County, which I've been listening to. That's fascinating as hell. That these.
Yeah, gone are the days of reactors that have to have these giant pools of water and the heavy water and all that.
Yeah, and Canada, I guess they still run their. I don't know if they're still they shut them down. They run off heavy water. They don't enrich or anything.
Yeah.
They just use heavy water stuff. That's a weird technology. Let's face it, the real reason why they went with these big reactors so they can make uranium, weapon grade uranium and plutonium. Yeah. That's the reason why we had those big reactors.
Yeah. But if you're talking energy, so Canada right now should have been the leader in hydrogen energy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they got a lot of water.
Well, they got a lot of water, but James Bay.
Mm-hmm. James Bay, where is that?
That's Hudson Bay, and then James Bay is a little bay in there.
Okay.
So, majority of the time of the year, there's movement, and they could put wave. They had the technology years and years ago to put wave generators.
Mm-hmm.
So, as it moves with the waves, it creates electricity. You turn the electricity into hydrolysis, which turns the hydrogen and oxygen. You put it into a pipeline.
Well, the only problem with hydrogen, it does kind of seep out. It's very small. Like they're having issues with the Artemis. Like I've always
Yeah.
had issues with yes, it's high energy, but it's also very, very small molecule. It can
Yeah.
slip through. And listen to and growing up with listening to the thing, I've learned more about on YouTube and everything than we did ever at school about the space program. Well, it's been really fascinating. Of course, I look at NASA for the last 50 years. It spread all over the United States.
Yeah.
And it was basically turned into a jobs program. And I think that's the reason
Yeah.
why we haven't been back to the moon. Yes, I think we've actually landed on the moon. I mean, there is some evidence that maybe they landed equipment on the moon and everything else was in a stage, but I honestly think we went. I mean,
Yeah.
if Buzz Aldrin not going to knock somebody out for calling him a fake, was Buzz right? What was Buzz?
Probably.
Yeah, I guess he knocked the guy right out.
Yeah.
He called him a fake, and he did. Uh, but
You know,
but I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy there.
there's a lot of energy there, and in the 70s and early 80s, Provo ran their bus systems on hydrogen.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. It's just
So-
it takes a lot of energy to break it down, though.
Yeah, but if you're using, so you got the salt water,
Mm-hmm.
so the water can't be pure, and adding salt to it actually makes it easier to break down.
Okay.
You have the
Well, we got to save the Great Salt Lake, though. It's drying up.
Yeah,
We're going
but yeah,
too many Californians. Sorry, I had to throw that
no,
in when you said that.
that yeah, that's a funny thing. They bought the pumps in the 80s because there was too much water, and now there's
Now we
not
don't have enough.
It doesn't reach the pumps, and it'll change again
Oh yeah.
in another cycle.
Well,
And
I've asked Sam. He said he grew up through the 70s. He's like, dude, I remember the Great Salt Lake being similar to what it is today. I've asked older people, and him says they remember it was almost a puddle one time.
yeah,
Um, the Great Salt Lake's been here long, long before we have been here. It'll probably be here after we're wipe our
Yeah.
stuffs off the planet.
yeah,
So, but I see what you're saying, though. I mean, a lot of energy there. Alberta could probably set themselves up really good. I hope they do get their independence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing them become even not even maybe a state, maybe a territory.
yeah.
I mean, if they give a territory, they get all the luxuries, but they don't have to pay federal taxes.
Right.
Hey, let's go back to being a territory, Utah. So, well, let's kind of wrap this up a little bit.
Sure.
Right now, I want to turn this over, and I'd ask you to close with a prayer too at the end. Our words of wisdom, give it a little whatever you feel words of wisdom for people that's listening in business, in faith, even a little bit of politics. Your words of wisdom on things. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spotlight.
No, you
No.
you'd have to assume that I'm wise, but
Well, you got a lot more gray than I do, so.
well, up till last week it was a little longer than yours too.
Too.
So I was doing the Santa Claus thing. So
Anyway,
as far as business, find something you love
that will drive you insane.
that will drive you insane, but find
you
something
feel
you
like-
love that you enjoy, and see what you can do to monetize it.
It's not going to be easy.
No, it's
If
not
it was
gonna be
easy, everybody would
and-
be doing it, right?
right.
Sorry. Anyway.
And if take a chance, go out and find it. If it's something you make with your hands, go out and find a craft show. There's
Music or
or music or whatever is your passion. Find something that makes you happy. So one of the reasons why I do the things that I do, I tell people that they don't believe me, but I suffer from depression. And so the reason I'm always busy is
I can see that. I have similar with the shop and knife making.
It's a coping mechanism. And so if I have a reason that I have to go out and do something, because otherwise I'm just sitting on the couch.
Put in the chair and letting it in. And I have my day, and I see where you're going with this. I have my days. And then they say it's part of ADHD, but I still have my issues of days I just don't want to. I'll just sit there and watch Star Trek and just want to disappear into the stars. But I get that working on stuff, and when I'm out in the shop and working. And same with my dad, with a lot of like people, like my dad are veterans, stuff like that. With working, a lot of knife makers are veterans. They took it up because it helps them work through
Right.
their deals of what they went through, the hells of war on all sorts of levels. Um, Hearing those stories and everything, I can hear it. And I can sympathize, but I can't relate.
Right.
And when you get a couple bladesmiths together that are veterans and listen to them guys and how they talk, it's like that's cool to hear how that works through it. But anyway, back on to
So find something you love. There's always somewhere that you can go and do a show. Look on Facebook. There'll be
or you let
tells
me start one.
or yeah, you
So,
know, and kudos to you, man.
oh, I like that. My one friend Robert Garcia. Shout out to Doctor NPR voice, Doctor Robert Garcia. Shout out to him. Robert Garcia, Global Media, and my real well NPR voice because he just loves NPR radio. There's a story behind that. Anyway, crap, there he goes. Anyway, kind of I forgot. Go ahead, finish off. My thought went
So
gone.
yeah. So I mean, find something you love. There's usually some local area that or
Mhm.
local crafts shop or
Share the spotlight. That's where I was going.
yeah,
That's why I like to do these business.
yeah,
Sorry, it popped in. I knew it'd come back.
yeah.
Sorry.
So find something you love, find a place to go do it, and interact with people, talk with them, and they will tell you how to do better.
Mm.
You know, I was
Some rudely, some nicely.
yes, yeah. So I was at a show last weekend just as a visitor, and got talking with a guy that makes wax melts. So scented
Hmm.
wax, and it was his very first show ever,
Nice.
and so
I remember what that's like.
yeah, and so um, gave him some pointers on what he can do, and he had a really good setup already, but the crafting community and are will really do all they can to help you. Ask for pointers; they'll give you pointers.
Same with the knife making
Knife, yeah,
community.
and it people think that oh, I've got my stuff. I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm
And
not gonna.
there's a few,
There,
on all sorts of
yeah,
levels. I've
but
encountered
as a general rule,
rural
those communities will they're a community.
community.
It's a family.
Right.
It's a you know I went to another show last weekend because I was going to see what the foot traffic was like
Mhm.
before I
Go there. Yeah.
go there and you know see a lot of familiar faces and vendors and it was why aren't you here, why aren't you here? And so there's a sense of family. You may not
Realize
really know them, but
outside looking in, you're not going to see it, but
yeah, once you get in there, it's a sense of family. So just find something you love and do it.
yeah,
It
like this podcast
yeah,
thing. I've been wanting to do it for years. Kevin and Brad brought me in on their last season of their Double B Creates, talking with them and doing and you can still find those episodes on there. And then finally kicked the can down there. I was like, finally, I decided to screw it. So I bought the package
yeah,
and the Zoom. I was first doing like 40 minutes, and I got realizing how we need longer than 40 minutes to be able
right,
to do this properly. And so, but yeah, it's like Emily said when she came over here. She came over. She got into Chicago. There were some people there helping get you set up. She said I did. She did cleaning. She did this job. Whatever she could do. There's always a way.
yeah,
Um, Regardless of how tough things get, there's always a way.
yeah.
And I really like how she says that. I encourage you to check that episode out. You'll really like that. It was really cool. I'm sure we could dive into more stuff. I'm learning as we go here.
Flipping back to the going through the immigration process, there is one thing I want to bring up.
Yeah.
When I finally went through and got all my paperwork done, took all the tests that you're supposed to do, and then they had the naturalization ceremony. And if you've never been to a ceremony, I highly encourage you to go.
I've watched a few online, a video a little bit.
So the judge that's presiding over it has a lot of leeway on what
Yeah.
happens during the ceremony. And there was about 200 people that were getting their citizenship when I
Done
went through
yours.
and got mine. And so he kind of opened it up, says, anybody want to say anything?
Ooh, that'd been cool to hear.
Oh, it was because people got up and told their stories of where I mean, you know, I'm from Canada. You know,
Our little step cousin.
yeah, it's it's not like I was being oppressed. It's not
Yeah.
like that, life was hard. Life, as a general rule, was pretty cool.
Like I said, our little
Yeah,
special cousin to
yeah,
the north. Sorry, I gotta
yeah.
get on up.
No,
Let's go back and
yeah.
forth, Anyway,
So the the guy that was in line with me, we got talking, and he was a professor over in the Ukraine. Came here, he was a janitor, and happier than heck. And you had all these people talk about how great this country was compared with where they came from, the blessings that we have in this country, and
even though we have our own problems,
we yeah,
but nothing's perfect.
Nothing's perfect. We have our own problems, but
There are
people,
problems, damn it.
yeah, that's right. People really don't understand the freedoms and the blessings that we have living in this country.
Do you remember one of those? Anybody got up and share a story that really stuck with you besides the guy from Canada? Not Canada,
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Um, there were a couple from Mexico that were talking about, stuff that was happening, that, compared with where they were coming from, this is, like Garden of Eden.
Paradise.
It was a paradise and we don't really truly understand what freedom is. Like all these protesters, if they were in another country doing the same crap.
Yeah, go to Palestine and see what happens.
Yeah.
Go to Iran. Yeah. There was I just watched. I was listening to a deal. There was some gal who was started doing influencing on TikTok over there.
Yeah.
She wasn't wearing the whatever
the
hijab thing. The secret police showed up and she's dead.
Yep.
She re-assisted. You can see it on the camera. They beat the woman beat the hell out of her. The two men beat the hell out of her, threw her in the thing, and she was executed within, I think, a day or two.
Yeah.
So, if women, not to be mean to the women, if you think you're oppressed in this country, you're not.
Yeah.
If like I said earlier, I wish there was a way we could start sending our youth around the world, either on some kind of a mission of just go ahead, have aid and everything and get into the shit areas that I wish we could do that. It should be part of the college experience, honestly. If we graduate from college of any kind of degree, especially your liberal arts. Sorry.
Well, liberal arts isn't what it used to be. A liberal arts education used to be worth something.
Really?
Well, absolutely, because the liberal arts was not what we call liberal arts today.
Okay.
So liberal arts was a well-rounded education of everything. Now it's kind of.
I play with clay, and I feel like I'm whatever. Sorry, I like I said, I'm probably going to get people on that. I don't care. Listen to me. Now. This this is kind of some of the conversation we have sometimes around it, besides everything else. But anyway, back on to what you're saying.
So it used to be a well-rounded education. Now it's whatever. Degrees. Yeah.
Well, it's been kidnapped by people and bastardized, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, the term liberal, back when we were liberal, it was liberating yourself from the oppression of the crown.
Yeah.
People, Americans go across, they'd call all that. Look at that liberal American. It was a term of endearment. It was, I guess, endearment. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Or something else I'm looking for. It was something to look up to at the time because we liberated ourselves from a king.
Yeah.
And so they were, all the Americans are so liberal. That was a good thing back, 150 years ago or more.
But yeah, so if you ever get a chance to go to a naturalization ceremony,
Sit down, shut up, listen.
yeah, you know, because they just talk about how great this country is, and we really don't realize what blessings we have in this country.
I mean, in other countries, a lot of countries, and I hate to say it, England, you can't do this.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
there's a guy falling out of St. George. He's in St. George, I think, called Harley the Brit, and he was talking about a buddy of his that came over to the States. I think over it was somewhere in Florida. Went to a gun range and so.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys heard about that?
Yeah, and when
I
he
think
went back,
yeah,
when he
went
went
back.
yeah,
Not. I hauled him ass in several different times.
yeah,
And I guess that
for pictures.
for pictures,
Yeah,
on this because he was considered a possible threat. It made news elsewhere. That's just where I heard the
yeah,
story with
yeah,
his friend, and so um, everybody's like, "Oh, I got a buddy. England's so nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful country. You wouldn't want to live under their government."
no.
Uh,
Well, and that's
and they say we have fascism and secret
yeah.
police.
So
That's fascism.
yeah, that was something too. You know, the last time I went to Canada this summer, and
Yeah, how was that?
I was
Didn't recognize home.
um there a lot of home that I recognized, but as far as speaking about things, I was very guarded
Oh,
with what I spoke about. Um,
so the Canadian secret police, the gooses don't communicate.
well,
Sorry, I had to
not
knock on the goose.
yeah, but my daughter just sent me a text today, or or messenger came up on our Facebook feed about when we went to Canada and went to the zoo and they had the Canadian geese that just so they run all over the zoo.
Yeah,
I mean
they're
but
Canadians. The
yeah,
geeses.
but they are vicious,
Oh yeah,
absolutely vicious, and
tastes good though.
oh yeah, yeah, but and you know
Anyway, you were
yeah.
back to being guarded, and you kind of felt
So
like it.
yeah, so it was, you know, you want to be careful with what you said because you didn't want to trigger anybody, and you didn't
I guess I'm not going to
what
Canada because I got a
yeah,
mouth and I don't care.
well,
But I'm
yeah,
also in
I
another country, so I guess
I
I'm over there. I don't have the rights I
I
enjoy here over
yeah,
there.
I still have my Canadian upbringing, and one of the most prominent terms that's everybody says, I'm
Mm.
sorry. You know,
That's where that comes from.
that's where that comes. It's not that you really did anything
The
wrong,
wrong. It
but
just
you just, you know,
browbeated into you.
yeah. And well, it's just a cultural thing.
Mm.
Not that it's
Bad.
beaten into you.
Yeah.
It's just you automatically take accountability for everything.
Hmm. Interesting.
And
That's
yeah.
kind of weird. Yeah, and now when you go back to visit, you gotta have to hush. And it's
Uh,
not where you grew up or anything.
no,
Like
yeah.
I
It
guess in the '70s, it was kind of other than the border, it was almost kind of Indian.
it was a line. That was it. I mean,
That was it.
yeah. I mean, growing up as a kid, you can cross just, you know, you have a birth certificate, driver's license, something to show.
And you see those video memes of somebody just U.S. Canada, and they go to some other country, jumps over.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now to go, you have to have your passport, and you know, it's yeah,
Patriot Act. Yeah,
yeah,
we won't get into that one.
yeah,
Uh, but that's awesome. So find what you do, find what you're
yeah.
passionate.
Find what you're passionate about, and just start doing it. Um, you know, you'll be amazed at how much fun you could have at it. And you know, with mine, I like talking with people,
Mhm.
and you know, if you enjoy talking to people, doing craft shows is an awesome thing. You'll have wide ranging discussions,
Oh yeah.
and you know, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
And you learn a lot about different areas too. Like I've traveled across country, different parts of the states, and I found out if you don't pronounce Seguin, Texas properly, there will be. I mean, I've had Texans out of another state correct me because I said it wrong. Um, like different. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, we're one country, but
Yeah.
we have. Well, I grew up. The United States was a melting pot. You come here,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah, you can bring your stuff with, but you melt it into your.
Right.
We're one, basically. You
Yeah.
know, I don't see no problem with people having their food culture, but we're under one flag. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and that's, when it comes to that, my when I got my citizenship, some of my family were, why are you doing that? And I go, well, there's only one citizenship that counts.
Mm,
And
I
that's with
never heard that before.
and that's with Christ.
Yeah. Oh, okay. True.
That is the only citizenship that counts. Everything else just denotes
Right.
where you're living. But the citizenship in Christ that is the one that counts.
That's kind of one thing I kind of like, we still might even come. I know there's a lot of tribulation that's supposed to happen between now and then, but it's like, maybe it's time for him to come back. All right, you knuckleheads, you know what I mean? It just,
Yeah, we haven't gone through the tribulation
no.
yet, and
I don't know if that's going to be in our lifetimes or.
it a lot depends on what happens with the Don Lemon case. Really,
True. That was interesting.
because if Don Lemon is found not guilty, or
And then
gets a slap in the wrist, then let me tell you, all bets are off.
yeah. I mean, most conservatives, while they're more libertarian than they really think they are conservative, libertarian, conservative, whatever. A lot of us are just, you know what? We don't want to go to war. Pushes in the corner.
Yeah.
Hate to say that. Well, let's wrap this up because
Okay.
I think the daughter's like really ready to go get her treat. So,
Okay.
um, would you mind closing it out with a prayer and
Sure,
and
absolutely.
I'll take over. So go ahead and
Okay.
um,
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity that Mike and I had to have a wide-ranging discussion. Bless him for his efforts. At this time, Father, we pray for our country, that thy healing spirit may come in, and that we may back away from our politics a little, and be able to treat each other as brothers and sisters versus enemies that need to be put down. Father, help us to have a conversation. Help us to understand differences, and to learn to talk, and learn to be able to relate with others who think and act differently than we do. Because when it comes down to it, we have more in common than what separates us. And help us to build on that commonality, that humanity. We ask thy blessing also to be on the leaders of our country, that they may be guided by thee, and that they may feel of thy spirit. And these things, Father, we pray for in Jesus' name. Amen.
amen. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Maybe another time we can do something, give me a little more structure. But like I said,
Hey,
I like doing off the cuff stuff. It takes pressure off me. Sometimes I've got some questions. Sometimes I don't read them, but anyway, I appreciate you coming over and hanging
yeah,
out.
not a problem.
Again, Behind the Anvil. There's a lot of other knife podcasts out there that talk a lot about knives and everything else, and I dabble on it. Behind the Anvil is me behind the anvil, not the
Right.
shop.
Right.
Like I said, I like talking knives and such like that. Like a shout out to Emily Casting Craft. Sorry, Emily. I apologize. I'll send you back to coffee. Keep her coffee. She's happy. Um, if it wasn't for coffee, she'd probably be empress of the world. I'm not sorry, Emily. She's a great woman. I encourage you to go listen to her episode. I've been told by a lot of people that it's just one of those next to her and Tim Troyer. I think it's when you hear about freeing slaves when you're growing up under socialism.
Yeah.
We got it pretty damn good.
Absolutely.
But anyway, As we say in the shop, America, let me scoot over here so I can get to the computer here. As we say in the shop, stay sharp, America, and remember, there's only one true King, and his name is Jesus Christ. And I invite you to pick up your Bible. If you need a friend, Calvary Church here if you're in Superior County. I really don't associate much with the LDS Church, but we're going to say if you go to the LDS Church, it don't matter. Pick up your Bible, get to know the Lord. So, hey, thanks again for joining. Remember, like, share, comment. Oh, you got any social media for your stuff?
No, I don't. I need to, but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, find Glenn Stoneman. You can probably find his stuff or find out where he's at and where you're going to be. So, again, thanks again. Stay sharp, America, and have a good one. And toodles.